Well, it's a great transition. We're going to dive into our shotgun reactions before we get into specifics from yesterday. And today, our show is brought to us by FanDuel. Guys, the NFL season is here, and FanDuel has an offer you don't want to miss. Right now, new customers can bet $5 and get $300 in bonus bets if that first $5 bet wins. That's right. Pick a bet, put down $5, and if it hits, you unlock $300 in bonus bets to use all across the app. So what are you waiting for? Visit FanDuel.com/UCSS to download the FanDuel app today and get started. Shotgun reactions, we'll keep them quick because we got a bunch of things to get to. Bull, you're up first.
You know, I could just talk about the team. Okay, I could complain about Kevin, deservedly so. I said I was done with him last week. He did nothing, obviously, to change my mind. Not having Quinshon Judkins on the field when they're in the red zone was criminal, even though I don't want to hear they weren't running well. You don't give up on the run just because you're not running well. But what I will say is that, I mentioned yesterday, and I want to reiterate today, Jimmy Haslam is laughing at all of us, folks.
Yeah, we're
He's
the idiots.
laughing at all of us.
We're the idiots.
We're the idiots. We keep going back. Fans keep spending money on jerseys, on tickets. Jason has said how many times? This is all about 29. That's 4 freaking years from now. They don't care. They put out this garbage offensive product. Congratulations, the Titans. Congratulations to the Titans. They should be very proud of themselves. They passed the Browns into 31st place yesterday in points per game. And by the way, they only needed to score 10 to get there, or whatever the hell they scored. The Browns are dead last in points per game. It is the worst offense, one of the worst offenses I've ever seen in my life. From top to bottom, coaching staff, talent, execution, all of it. It's horrible. It's disgraceful. And Jimmy Haslam is laughing. He and their family do not give a rat's you-know-what about any of us and any of you. They don't care. They just want to keep taking your money because they know that no matter how bad a product they stick you with, you're going to keep coming back. And that's a darn shame how the Haslams and this organization has treated this fan base. It's a disgrace. Jason.
Yeah.
What he said.
I mean, so I've never done. I'm going to read the first graph of the story I wrote yesterday that posted today. And that'll be my shotgun reaction. It's exactly what Bull said. Let me save you 3 more months of aggravation and grief. The Cleveland Browns don't seem to care very much about this season, so why should you? This season was never about winning.
That's it. Wasn't.
G.
Man, look, man, we've been here before. We are here again. We have to decide what is acceptable to you. I'm just a washed up defensive tackle from a MAC school. What do I know? But what I do know is when I was at Sweetport Wilson's and I was on the ground with the boots on the ground and talking to the people, I couldn't help but realize how many people truly love the Cleveland Browns. It almost seemed like a long lost family reunion where we sat there and talked to people, and people, person after person came up, all different races, shapes, sizes, creeds, colors, religion. Everybody at one point in time was sitting in there. And it wasn't, oh, we want this person to play. There were people that cheered every time Dillon Gabriel threw the ball. There was times that people cheered when Dillon Gabriel got up and was mad at the guy for tackling him.
Mm-hmm. Boy, I missed that line.
Yeah,
that was wild.
Yeah, he was like everybody in there got excited for that. It's a shame that's the only thing we had to really talk about. But
Dillon punched the linebacker.
Get up off me. I like that. I like the energy. But the problem is this, man. I sat there and talked to all those individuals, and they said, one by one, they kept saying, hey, I used to, somebody was born in the 80s and said, I was born in 89. And I was like, that's crazy. That's the last time they won the division. And there's only 3 teams in the division. You only got, that means
3 other teams.
There's only 3 others. You only have to be better one time than 3 other teams.
If law of averages applied, every 4th year we would be division champs.
And he sits there and says, hey, G. Bush, man, I take a guy's trip out of town every year to watch the Browns. This year we're going to go to Vegas, and we spend money on hotels and the plane tickets and the jerseys, and everybody was in there that was fly, fresh. The logos was stitched on the 250s. The hats was all new eras. The Jordans was in colors, the orange and brown. You know you can't wear orange and brown with nothing else, Jay. You was wearing them once a Sunday. Everybody, drinks, food. And he said, we do all of this, man, and I ain't asking for no, championships or I'm just asking for serviceable, watchable football. We spent most of our time entertaining one another, just talking, having stories, and just having a good time. And we realized at the end, as I walked away, that this is a team that gave you 3 field goals. And at some point in time, all the vitriol starts to go away and all of the other stuff starts to go away. And what you have is just the empty core of a burnt out star. You got a neutron star, right? You used to shine bright. You used to have the orbit. Everybody loved the Cleveland Browns. Go back and watch the old school NFL films where the dog pound and people is barking. And when they left, they cried. Grown men had to go to shifts in a steel yard, was crying, taking chairs. All those people are now gone. They done passed on. Your grandfather who put you on, your father to put you on. Everybody that you used to watch the games with, your cousins, everybody is getting older. I sat there in the bar and watched my dad, and I'm like, man, he's 60-something, 65, 66 years old. And then I thought to myself, actually he's 67. I shortchanged him.
Yeah, let's not do that.
Let's not do that. I don't shortchange you.
But
the problem is, Jay said it. Sometimes you be like, man, you automatically think you guaranteed to see a winner one time with your father, right? When you say, hey, man, we going to definitely watch the game with your father. We going to get it in, and then you start getting older and older and older and older. And once them 3 field goals go on the board, you start to realize that maybe that ain't in the cards. And it's a shame because the people is still out there supporting them. But I'm going to tell you what, Jimmy, people in the front office is hanging by a thread for a lot of people. It's hanging by a thread. And them is your most loyal fans. I'm going to tell you, you think 2029? I'm sorry. There's people that's dropping off every single year. And maybe it's up to you what you want to do, how you want to decide it. Is it important or is it not?
He's got to do 1, 2 things. He's got to sell or he's got to get out of the building. And until he does either, and I don't think he will, this is what we're stuck with. We are the fools. We are 1,000% the fools. I'm going to read a text exchange live in real time watching the game yesterday I had with my sister. She lives in Phoenix, watches religiously every Sunday, no matter what. Oh, my God, how I hate being a Browns fan. How did this happen? Happy Sunday, brother. Love and miss you. I said, love you too, sis. I don't know what you're talking about. Browns. What are these Browns you speak of? She replied, I had so much hope for this season, too. I said, not me. I've lost it. All of it. Forever. She sends the clown emoji and the laughing face. Then she says, are there steps you have to go through asking for a friend? I said, yes. 1 step. Just let it go. My life is so much better. I expect a loss every week. They always meet my expectations this way. She said, step 1, no hope. Got it. And that was it. We are the fools. We are and I hate to say it, because this group of people that are Browns fans are good people. You guys witnessed it in real time yesterday. They're hardworking. They've got great work ethic. They want a little bit of entertainment on their lives for 3 hours on Sunday afternoon. They want to turn on the TV and feel good about where they're from and who they are. We never get that. We haven't had that since 1989. If by the law of averages every 4th year you should win a division, we've been skipped over 9 times. It's just passed back and forth between Pittsburgh and Baltimore usually, and Cincinnati steals one every once in a while. Even they find their nut. But this squirrel is so blind we can't even get near it. And I know that this is a reckless thing to do because I know the reaction I'm going to get, but I'm going to say it anyhow because it needs to be said. And I know he's looked at as the boogeyman. But I can't fire Jimmy Haslam. I can't. Nobody can. This boogeyman we speak of, official title, Chief Strategy Officer. Cool name, right? Chief Strategy Officer. It was our strategy when we finally had a quarterback that took us to the promised land. We decided we would play him hurt and then we would banish him to places other than Cleveland. This chief strategy officer thought it would be a great strategy to get Deshaun Watson and give up 3 first-round draft picks, 2 third rounds, and a 4th round. That's 6+ players that should be on this roster today that are not. But Deshaun Watson is. Not only did he decide to make that move, he also decided to give him the largest guaranteed contract in NFL history. It hasn't been beaten. How often does that happen? These teams always top contracts. Every other team, 31 other teams said, that's lunacy. We're not going there. We'll leave that to the Browns. This chief strategy officer felt like going into the draft, despite the fact that the 4 people sitting on this panel knew it and everybody watching this show knew it, we had no offensive line and no wide receivers. We went through an entire draft where we finally had a first-round draft pick, and we took no offensive linemen and no wide receivers. Oh, we did take 2 quarterbacks. Now we're supposed to try to judge those quarterbacks in a situation that you can't judge quarterbacks in. You can't judge a quarterback when he has no wide receivers and no offensive linemen. And they knew that was the case before the draft. So now you're trying to figure out if either of these kids can play. That's not fair. You're putting it's too steep of a learning curve. You've got no help, nobody to help. Oh, and by the way, a team that drops every third ball. Every third ball yesterday hit hands and dropped it to the ground.
Facts.
So all of that being said, our micro strategy yesterday, and I have to believe that this comes from Paul DePodesta too, because we don't know, but we do know he's the chief strategy officer. So I have to believe now that someone making up yesterday's game plan decided that it would be smart on 77% of the plays to have our rookie quarterback, who is undersized, drop back to throw. 77% of yesterday's plays were called passes because we tried to run and it just didn't work. So what did we do? We pivoted in the first quarter. And our best player so far, one of our best rookie players so far, is on the bench when it's only still a 10-point game. I can't find him. I couldn't see him.
He only played 40% of the plays.
40% of the plays, Bull.
It's crazy.
And that was the strategy that Paul DePodesta gave us. I have to believe that. So it reminded me of when we sent Baker to play against Pittsburgh with no help on the right side, with a rookie right tackle. Our quarterback got hit 17 times yesterday, guys. Our undersized rookie quarterback was hit 17. You know what he showed me? Moxie. He showed me he's tough, but he's not going to last. And then we're going to be on to Shedeur, which is fine. We've got to see what he can do. But how fair is it to put him in there in the same slop? No wide receivers, no offensive linemen in the draft when we knew that's where we needed to get better.